Welcome back to Brainwaves. In today's video, we're going to delve into the fascinating topic of the Mason-Dixon Line. This boundary line played a significant role in American history, particularly during the era of slavery and the Civil War. So, let's explore what the Mason-Dixon Line was all about and how it shaped our nation's past. In the early 1760s, a border dispute arose between the colonies of Pennsylvania and Maryland. Both colonies claimed the land, leading to tensions and conflicts. To resolve the dispute, a boundary line was proposed, which eventually became known as the Mason-Dixon Line. This line, stretching approximately 233 miles, was intended to establish a clear boundary and put an end to the territorial disagreements between the two colonies. The surveying and marking of the Mason-Dixon Line were carried out by British surveyors Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon. These skilled astronomers and surveyors were tasked with precisely mapping the boundary between Pennsylvania and Maryland. Over the course of several years, Mason and Dixon braved challenging terrain and difficult conditions to complete their monumental surveying project. Their expertise and meticulous work ensured that the Mason-Dixon Line would serve as an accurate and enduring geographic landmark for years to come. The significance of the Mason-Dixon Line extends beyond its original purpose as a boundary between two colonies. During the era of slavery and the American Civil War, this line became a symbol of division between the northern and southern United States. It represented the geographic divide between the free states of the North and the slave-holding states of the South. The Mason-Dixon Line embodied the stark contrast in ideologies, economies, and social structures between the two regions, ultimately fueling the tensions that led to the Civil War. Its historical and cultural significance persists to this day, serving as a reminder of the complexities and divisions that have shaped American history. In our exploration of the Mason-Dixon Line, it's important to understand the key figures behind its creation. The line was named after two British surveyors, Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon, who undertook the monumental task of surveying and marking the boundary. Charles Mason was an accomplished astronomer and surveyor, while Jeremiah Dixon was a skilled mathematician and surveyor. Together, they formed a formidable team, bringing their expertise and precision to the project of establishing the boundary line between Pennsylvania and Maryland. The surveying mission of Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon was a remarkable feat that required precision, perseverance, and dedication. They embarked on a journey that involved carefully measuring and marking the boundary between Pennsylvania and Maryland. Despite facing difficult terrain, dense forests, and other challenges, Mason and Dixon meticulously carried out their surveying work. They used sophisticated instruments of the time and employed advanced techniques to ensure the accuracy of their measurements. Their mission was not only a technical achievement but also a testament to their unwavering commitment to their task. The legacy of Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon, as the surveyors of the Mason-Dixon Line, is profound. Their work not only resolved a territorial dispute but also left an indelible mark on American history. The Mason-Dixon Line became recognized as the symbolic divide between the northern and southern United States, representing the stark contrast in ideologies and social systems. Today, their names are synonymous with precision, surveying expertise, and the historical significance of the boundary they established. The Mason-Dixon Line originated from a border dispute between the colonies of Maryland and Pennsylvania in the 1760s and 1770s. The exact location of the boundary between these two colonies was a subject of contention and led to conflicts over land rights and jurisdiction. The dispute arose due to unclear and conflicting descriptions in the original colonial charters, causing both colonies to claim the same territories. This border dispute created tensions and conflicts that needed resolution. Various attempts were made to resolve the border dispute between Maryland and Pennsylvania peacefully. The colonies initially sought to negotiate a mutually agreeable solution, but these negotiations proved to be challenging due to the conflicting interpretations of the colonial charters. As diplomatic efforts faltered, both colonies turned to legal avenues, including bringing the matter before the courts. However, even legal decisions failed to provide a definitive resolution, intensifying the need for a more definitive boundary line. To finally resolve the border dispute, the colonial governments of Maryland and Pennsylvania agreed to appoint Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon as surveyors to establish a definitive boundary line. Mason and Dixon embarked on a comprehensive surveying mission, covering a distance of approximately 233 miles. They faced numerous challenges, including rugged terrain, dense forests, and harsh weather conditions. Through their meticulous measurements and expertise, they successfully marked the boundary, creating what would later be known as the Mason-Dixon Line. This line became the official and recognized boundary, ending the long-standing dispute between the colonies and providing a clear demarcation for future land claims. Originally, the Mason-Dixon Line was a physical boundary meant to resolve a border dispute between Maryland and Pennsylvania. It served as a marker to distinguish the territories of the two colonies. The line was surveyed and marked by Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon with great precision. Little did they know that this boundary would later acquire profound symbolic significance in the context of slavery and the American Civil War. To understand the significance of the Mason-Dixon Line, we need to explore the historical context of slavery and the American Civil War. During the era of slavery, the United States was deeply divided over the moral and economic implications of this institution. The northern states were gradually abolishing slavery, while the southern states heavily relied on enslaved labor for their agrarian economy. As tensions between the North and South escalated, the Mason-Dixon Line became an emblematic divide that represented the contrasting values, economies, and social systems of the two regions. The Mason-Dixon Line became a powerful symbol of the divide between the northern and southern United States during the era of slavery and the American Civil War. It represented a boundary between two contrasting worlds. The North, beyond the line, was increasingly shaped by industrialization, a growing abolitionist movement, and a shift towards a free labor economy. In contrast, the South, below the line, held on to the plantation system and relied heavily on the institution of slavery to sustain their agricultural economy. The Mason-Dixon Line thus became a powerful visual and ideological representation of the deep-rooted divisions that ultimately led to the Civil War. The Mason-Dixon Line holds significant historical importance in the United States. It serves as a tangible reminder of the geographic and social divisions that have shaped American history. The line marks the boundary between the northern and southern states, highlighting the stark contrasts in ideologies, economies, and social structures that existed during the era of slavery and the American Civil War. It represents the struggles and tensions that ultimately led to one of the most defining moments in American history. The historical significance of the Mason-Dixon Line extends beyond its original purpose as a boundary and continues to be studied and explored today. Beyond its historical significance, the Mason-Dixon Line has become a cultural landmark with iconic symbolism. It represents the deep-seated divisions and conflicts that have shaped American society. The line has been referenced in literature, music, and popular culture as a metaphorical boundary between different ideals, values, and ways of life. It evokes the struggles for civil rights, equalities, and social justice that have defined American history. The Mason-Dixon Line serves as a reminder of the complexities and challenges that the country has faced and continues to face in its pursuit of a more unified and inclusive society. The legacy of the Mason-Dixon Line extends far beyond its physical existence. It continues to shape American history and serves as a constant reminder of the divisions and conflicts that have defined the nation. The line symbolizes the complexities of race, slavery, and the fight for freedom and equality. Its impact can be seen in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and social justice. The Mason-Dixon Line has become an important touchstone for understanding and acknowledging the difficult chapters of American history, and it challenges us to confront the legacy of systemic oppression and work towards a more inclusive and united future. And there you have it, the fascinating history of the Mason-Dixon Line. From its origins as a boundary dispute between Maryland and Pennsylvania, to its symbolic significance as the divide between the North and the South, this line has left an indelible mark on American history. Today, it continues to serve as a reminder of the divisions that have shaped our nation, both geographically and culturally. So the next time you come across the term, Mason-Dixon Line, you'll have a deeper understanding of its historical and cultural significance. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the Mason-Dixon Line. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Brainwaves for more captivating content. Stay curious.